Hey everyone, again welcome to this online course designed for 3D printing using Autodesk Fusion 360. So in this lesson we are going to learn about Fusion 360 sketching fundamentals, and we'll also create our base sketch inside this software that we had planned in our design approach. Also, if you had not downloaded the detailed technical specification of this model, you can just go on to the module 1 in the lesson 3. You will be able to download that PDF that includes all the technical details for this part. So here you can see right now on our screen. So whenever you will first launch your Fusion 360, it will look something like this. So the first thing first, the first three things that I always recommend to everyone is the first thing that you have to do is just click on your save and save your drawing first. So I will just give it a name called bracket. Here you can see I had written bracket, and I will make sure that I will be saving it into the correct folder. So I will just click on over here onto this small icon, then I will move on to my, let's say I will save this onto this project folder, YouTube, this one. Then I will select this one, I will just double click on that one, and here you can see that just got open. So inside that we got multiple folder over here, so we can just go on to the exercise folder, and here I can just click on save. So here you can see the moment I will click on save, it just got saved and the name got updated. So this means that it just got saved into our cloud space. Now the next thing guys, next thing is the system of units that we are following. So make sure that you are following the right system of units. So for that, just go on to your document settings over here. So as you can see, currently my system of units is millimeter, so it's 100% correct. So but if you want to change it, just click on this small icon over here, and then you will get a pop-up window that will show you the different system of units. For example, centimeter, millimeter, inches, foot, you can change that, but at this moment my millimeter is correct, so I will just press escape to come out of it. Now the next thing guys, next thing that you always had to take care of, that this small gray timeline space over here. So all the time whenever you are starting Fusion 360 and starting your model or drawing, make sure that this timeline is visible over here, timeline space is visible over here. So that is, these are the three things that all the time whenever you are starting any design or anything, you have to make sure that these three things are available. As you can see, this is the file that we had saved with the name bracket. Now if I want to create a new sketch inside Autodesk Fusion 360, there are two ways I can do that. So the first way is to click on this create a sketch icon. So this is a shortcut to start your sketching. The other way what you can do, just expand your create panel from here, and here you can see the same create a sketch icon over here. So there are two ways I can start creating a sketch from my desktop. So you can see I will just click on this create sketch tool to start my sketch first, and the moment I had activated this tool, it is asking me to select the plane onto which I want to create my sketch. Either I want to go on to the top plane, front plane, or side plane. So in this case I will select this top plane as a sketch plane. So I will just click on that, and here you can see the moment I had just clicked, it just got activated to start creating my sketch. Also you can see on the top, I will be able to see all the new tools that just got activated inside this sketchwork environment, and also a new folder just got added into our browser. Here you can see. So this inside this sketch folder we had this sketch one that is active right now. So what I will do, you can see we got some basic sketch tools like any other CAD softwares. You can see the tools like line, rectangle, circle, spline, mirror tool, sketch dimension tool, and about this sketch dimension tool we'll learn more about this tool in our later sessions. So here you can see if I expand it from here, we got different more tools like ellipse, slot. So slot is one of the tools, center to center slot is one of the tool that we are going to use in this project. Then we got tools like circle. Here you can see the center circle, 2-point circle, 3-point circle. So we got different types of circle that we can explore into Fusion 360 based on our requirements. Then we got different kind of rectangles as well. Then we got text, if you want to add any text to your design. We got points, circular pattern, rectangular pattern. So these are some basic tools that you can use. Apart from this, since we were into the create panel, so these all tools are related to creating a new sketch. Now if you'll go on to the modify panel, inside the modify panel you will be able to find all the tools that you will need to modify your sketch. Let's say if you want to trim your sketch, or if you want to extend your sketch, or if you want to scale your sketch. So all the tools related to that, related to modifying feature, you will be able to find into this panel. Then we got the constraint tools. So this is everything related to constraining your sketch. For example, to constrain your sketch, I will explain you how we can use these features. Then we got the inspect tool, like if you want to measure your sketch, or some other tools as well, that these tools are already common in all work environments, but in sketching we are not going to discuss it more. And once you are done with your sketching, you can just click on finish a sketch option over here to finish your sketch, and you will be just back to your normal solid modeling work environment. So here you can see, in this case, in our case, to start our base sketch for our design, as I had already explained you in our design approach, that we'll start with the base first. So we'll start with the base first. We'll go on to the create panel over here. Then inside rectangle, we'll go on to the rectangle option over here, and here we can see this center rectangle tool. So I will just activate this tool, center rectangle tool, and I will create I will select the center, then will drag my cursor like this to create a rectangle. At this moment, I am not worrying about the dimensions. So what I will do, I will just click anywhere on my space, and here you can see I had just created a rectangle. So here you can see this is the first sketch that we had just created inside Autodesk Fusion 360. So congratulations guys, you had created your first sketch inside Autodesk Fusion 360. And now if you want to add more feature into this sketch, you can just again go back to your create panel, and you can activate your line tool, for example. And as the moment you can see, whenever I am hovering my mouse over the line of the rectangle, it is automatically giving me a snap point. So this triangular snap point is for the midpoint. So for example, if I want to divide this rectangle in 2 equal parts, I can create a line from this point to this point like this. And here you can see, the moment you are done, you can just press escape on your keyboard to come out of the tool. And here you can see, by using this line, I had divided this rectangle into 2 equal parts. In the similar manner, if you want to explore more tools, like if you want to create a circle, you can just create a circle like this, activate the circle. For example, in this case, if I want to activate the center diameter circle tool, so I will activate that. Then if I will just want to create circle on this position, I will click on the point, and I will drag my mouse like this, outside like this. And here you can see the circle just got created. Now if you need this circle on all 4 corners, you can use the tool called rectangular pattern tool. Just activate your tool, then a window will pop up where you have to first specify the object that you want to pattern. And the moment you will select that, you will get more options like the direction. So for example, let's say this is the direction, and then I will drag this arrow like this. So I just need 2 times, so I will change the hair quantity as 2. Here you can see it just got updated as 2. And then if you know the distance, you can put that. In this case, I'm not very sure about the distance because I'm just randomly creating all the sketch entities. So I will just write 136, and then I will drag it on the other direction as well. And on the other direction also, I will change the quantity to 2. So here you can see, and then again I will give the dimension as, let's say, 82, and I will press OK. So here you can see I had just patterned this circle using the rectangular pattern tool on all the 4 corners. So this way you can add features across your sketch. Also, if you want to add any more features, like if you want to add any text, you can just activate your text. Then you can, first you have to specify the text window, like in Excel or any other tool. For example, in Microsoft PowerPoint tool, it works similar way. You have to first specify your sketch window, then you can write down your text. Like for example, I can write project 1 like this. Here you can see, and I can adjust the text height as well. If I want to decrease the text height to 0.8, I can change it to bold or italic. I can change the fonts as well if I don't like it. And the moment I am done, I can just press OK, and here you can see the text just got added into our sketch tool. So this way you can add features inside your sketch environment inside Fusion 360 using create panels. Here you can see. Now there is a tool called center slot that will also check out. If I will activate this center to center slot, and then I have to specify the 2 centers. So let's say this distance is 30 millimeters, so I will write 30, and then I will drag outside like this. Then I have to specify the diameter of this center slot, let's say 15, and will press enter. So you can see I had just created this center slot like this, that if I want to move it on any position, I can move it until and unless it is constrained. So constraint, when I say constraint, means defining the position of your object inside this workspace. So we'll learn about this just very soon. So let's move on to the modify tool now. So inside modify panel, here you can see we got all the tools related to modifying your sketches. For example, if you want to apply a fillet onto this corner, then we will just go onto the modify panel. You will activate your fillet tool and you will select the edges and then specify the radius of your fillet. So let's say right 12 and we'll press enter. So here you can see we had just applied fillet onto that corner. So it's all about modifying your sketch. So all the tools related to modifying your sketch you will be able to find inside this modify panel. Then we got the chamfer tool and then we got the offset tool. For example, if you want to offset this slot by certain millimeter, you can just activate your tool, offset tool. Then you will select the offset, then you will specify the offset distance, let's say 5, and we'll press enter. So we have just created another slot that is offset by 5 millimeter from this inside slot. So this way we can use these features. For example, if I want to trim something, so I will activate the tool. Then let's say I want to trim this line, so I will, or this line, then I will click on this line and it will just get trimmed. Or if I can just drag it like this to trim down the objects, so it will get trimmed out like this. Or else if I want to trim something else, for example this line, I can do that. So we can do modifications using these tools. Then we can use this extend tool as well. If I want to extend something, for example, let's say I want to extend this line up to this point, so here you can see it is automatically extending up to its next entity. So this way we can extend the object. And all the time when you are done with your sketching part or modifying part, just press escape on your keyboard to come out of the tool. And then we got some other tool like sketch scale tool, modify tool. Those you have to check out from yourself because we are limited with the time and we cannot make this tutorial much longer, so otherwise we will get bored. So here you can see, so we'll move towards our project thing and we'll move towards learning more features inside the sketching tool in our later courses. And then we got our constraint tool. So now let's talk about the constraint tool that is really very important inside sketching work environment inside Fusion 360. For example, let's say we had this line, we had created something like this, then we had created one line like this. Here you can see these lines are not completely vertical and these lines are not completely horizontal. So how quickly we can do that? We just have to apply your horizontal vertical constraint. So all the tools over here that we can see inside this constraint panel is called constraint tools. So this is horizontal vertical constraint tool. So I will activate that, and let's say I want to make this line vertical, so I will just select the line, and here you can see this icon, this small icon shows that this is a vertical constraint is being applied on this line. And let's click on this line again. Since you can see my tool is still activated on my cursor, so I will select the line, and here you can see it just became horizontal. So applying constraint is like defining the position or orientation of your sketch entity inside sketching work environment. Now let's say I want to match these two lines, I want this point to be matching onto this line. So this we can do using the coincident tool. So just activate that, then select the point, then select the line, and it will just coincident like this. Here you can see we can move it completely because it is not constrained across the environment. We had not defined any position with respect to the origin of these objects, so we can move it completely inside anywhere inside our this sketching workspace. Now we got a tool like equal. So if I will activate this constraint and if I will apply between this line and this line, so both lines became equal in length, just because we had applied the equal constraint. If I will change the length of this line, the other is automatically getting updated, as you can see like this, because both are constrained by a relation, and that is equal constraint. So now let's move on to other thing. For example, I want this point to be on the midpoint of this line, so I will activate this midpoint constraint, and then we'll select the point, then we'll select the line, and here you can see it's automatically just came onto the midpoint of this vertical line. So this way we can apply our constraint tools to define our sketches and to constrain our sketches for better results. So this way you can explore the tools inside Autodesk Fusion 360. There are similar tools like the symmetry tool or collinear or concentric. So concentric basically works with the circles. For example, let's say we had two circles like this. As you can see, these two circles are not concentric, and when I say concentric means their origin are not at a single point, they are on different points. So if you want to make them concentric, just activate your constraint, select both the objects, and they become concentric like this, as you can see. So this is how you had to come on to Fusion 360 and start exploring these kind of tools, like what tool is for which feature, what you can do with the different tools inside Autodesk Fusion 360. So this was all about the fundamentals of sketching inside Autodesk Fusion 360. Now let's move on to the dimensioning part inside Autodesk Fusion 360, how we can dimension our sketches inside Fusion 360.